Clients in Automate represent your customers. Properly configuring them ensures your technicians will have the access they need to manage your customers. Additional settings on the client, such as passwords, interact with multiple areas within Automate. In this lesson, you will learn how to create clients, set client permissions, and add client passwords. Let's start with creating a client. Each client represents one of your customers, and they are created manually within the Control Center. In the side navigation, you'll see that by default, under the Browse module, the Clients tab will be open. To create the new client, right-click on Client, select Create Client. The client name field is highlighted in pink, indicating that it's a required field. Enter the name of your customer here in the client name field, and then click Create in the lower right. Users in Automate are controlled via user classes. To manage these, click on the Permissions tab. Setting permissions is crucial to ensure users have exactly the correct amount of access they need to properly perform their job duties. From the User Classes section on the left, click on the LTAdmin user class. The permissions associated with this user class are populated on the right. The permissions at the top pertain to the client specifically. These permissions control whether the user can read, edit, or delete things like locations, passwords, etc. The permissions in the bottom section dictate what users can do to computers that are a member of this client. These permissions control whether a user can perform common functions from the computer management screen or even take control of the computer remotely. Test your knowledge on granting remote control access to a specific user class. What is the first step to change the user class permissions for this new client? Click on one of the boxes to submit your answer. How do you change the permissions for the Help Desk user's user class? Click on one of the boxes to submit your answer. Which setting controls the ability to remotely control agents within this client? Click on one of the boxes to submit your answer. The Passwords tab of the client contains credentials that are valid for all members of that client. At least one of these passwords needs to have administrator-level access to enable functionality within multiple areas of Automate. Adding a password is as simple as right-clicking in the list view and selecting Add Entry. The title should indicate which password it is: domain admin, local admin, etc. In the username field goes the domain credentials, which can be listed in a ./username format if it's a local account. After populating the password and repeat fields, clicking OK saves this password and makes it available for use. The tab of the client contains credentials that are valid for all members of that client. At least one of these passwords needs to have administrator-level access to enable functionality within multiple areas of Automate. Adding a password is as simple as right-clicking in the list view and selecting Add Entry. The title should indicate which password it is: domain admin, local admin, etc. In the username field goes the domain credentials, which can be listed in a ./username format if it's a local account. After populating the password and repeat fields, clicking OK saves this password and makes it available for use. Test your knowledge on creating a password entry for this client. Where do you change the password for this client? Click on one of the boxes to submit your answer. How do you add a new password? Complete the correct action to submit your answer. Which option will create a new password? Click on one of the boxes to submit your answer. In which field would you describe what the password is? Click on one of the boxes to submit your answer. In which field would you enter the username credentials for this password? Click on one of the boxes to... Where do you enter the password for this new entry? Click on one of the boxes to submit your answer. In order to complete this password entry, what other fields must be completed? Click on one of the boxes to submit your answer. In order to complete this password entry, what other fields must be completed? Click on one of the boxes to submit your answer. How do you update the changes made? Click on one of the boxes to submit your answer. How do you update the changes made? Click on one of the boxes. Let's take a minute to go over some of the important concepts covered in this lesson. You should understand how to create a client, set client permissions, and add client passwords. Do you feel comfortable with the material covered in this lesson? If you do, click yes below to advance to the final knowledge check and complete the lesson. Click no if you would like to provide us feedback on how we can improve the lesson. And be sure to complete the final knowledge check.